I am of the pure mind of God. I am the resurrection and the life in my body, my finances, my relationships, and my world. I qualify everything in my world with perfection. I am perfection. I am this perfect day, and the life that lives in me is the light that cannot fail. I accept only God's perfection, His good, in my outer circumstances. I know in my heart that God is all in all. I am absolutely not concerned about what happens, because I know wonderful things are happening now.
Hello.
Hi, it's another beautiful day in Wisconsin, and it is the Indian summer, so it's 70 and sunny.
And I'm celebrating the victory of the most important election of your lifetime right here. Ethereum has actually just taken the position right now. So if you're not familiar with Ethereum, you missed all my talks. I was talking about it when it was like $200, and now what is that today?
450.
So if you don't have your 1 ETH or whatever you need right now, then maybe you should, I don't know, do whatever you want. So what's the other topic that people care about right now?
Probably masks, as this person's running.
Oh gosh, they're running with masks on.
Oh boy, outside.
Well, whatever.
It is what it is. But anyways, on a lighter note, the kids are home cleaning the house.
The kids are cleaning the house, and it's another day.
It's Saturday, and it's the how many days into counting the election?
Let's go. Let's look at this.
Hold on.
This right here, you got to appreciate this, because right now we are in the depths of winter right now. As you can tell, it's actually fall, but we're supposed to be it's November, for crying out loud.
No, you never know. That's the thing. People will say, "What's the weather normally like in November in Wisconsin?" It's like, that's a gamble. It's either summer like today, or it's winter. Like we had a blizzard on Halloween last year, and then it kept snowing. So the kids are like, "Wow, this is amazing. Isn't it normally snowing right now?" And I'm like, "There's nothing normal about November in Wisconsin."
Yeah. So, no real agenda today. I just want to talk about whatever seems to come in, and I just create the space for God to just squeeze right through this and bring a transmission. What comes to my heart is, mastering the walk in the Romans 8 under the law of spirit, not flesh. Okay, now this is something that it's really powerful, and it's really cool when you experience it for the first time and you get to see the truth. And a lot of people are going to have to demonstrate that, because everything's changing in the world. So, like, one thing that brings to my mind is, this day, noticed that there were some things in my body I wasn't too happy with, and got up this morning and I was like, I got some sharp pains in my stomach. And then I thought, okay, there's two things I can do here. I can agree with it that I am a sinful mortal and that I deserve to be punished under the law of the flesh, and I can deal with it that way. Or I can immediately shift my focus to what God is thinking right now, knowing that spirit is imperturbable and untouched by material claims or sensations in matter. And so I'm choosing the latter. And it's really good, because I foresee that I'll be doing a workout after this walk, and I'll be doing my 100% day that I want to do. And I'm not going to submit to the idea, right? Because it's an idea. Sickness is an idea. So you spiritualize the body. That's step one, is that you recognize that there's no intelligence, truth, or anything of validity in a substance called matter in your body any more than there is in this pole right here. You don't exist in a physical flesh meat sack any more than you do in this pole. And if you've ever seen a dead body, you'll realize that. Have you seen a dead body, Sabrina?
I have.
Besides the ones that you have taken? And
Well, I mean, what do you mean, like at a funeral?
yeah, you know the dead bodies you see at the funeral.
That's not even a person.
Well, exactly. The
Look
meat
at these orb things.
the meat sack is not the real person. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, now they have, what is that for? To keep the mosquitoes out.
Maybe it has nothing to do with mosquitoes.
Oh, look, it's the mosquito bubbles.
No, I bet that's so they can have outdoor seating longer.
Oh, these are the bubbles that the Gates medicine has
Well-
superimposed on humanity.
So being indoors is unsafe, but being in a bubble is safe.
Yeah, it takes about 3 breaths.
Talk about living in
Two.
a bubble. I'm just kidding. Whatever. I don't know. So yeah, no, but I agree with you. You can't like
Oh, I thought it was to keep the mosquitoes out in the fall.
Yeah, there's so many mosquitoes in the fall. Well, maybe in other areas, but not here. Totally
Yeah.
not.
When I see the absurdity of all this, I just ignore it.
Yeah,
Because-
me too. I don't even really see it, but anyways.
It's no different than the symptoms of the pain in the stomach that I was, that's like sitting there like, I'm real, pay attention to me, come on, bow down to me, submit. And I'm not going to go there.
Don't go there.
Nuh-uh. It's just like I'm not going to go eat in that bubble. That's one of the restaurants that I blacklisted off my...
No, it's not.
It's not?
That's this one.
Oh, okay, we're coming up on the one I did.
You know what?
Yeah.
There's something to be said about, unfortunately how restaurants have to do this different way of doing things. And
Yeah.
I'm always reminded whenever I go to a restaurant, like, when you can cook so well at home,
Oh,
just
gosh.
reminds you that, like, might as well just eat at home,
Oh, yeah,
but
for sure.
especially with how weird everything's got to be now, so.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what you see on the day-to-day is you see everybody wearing a mask, but they don't actually do anything.
Yeah,
So-
no, I mean, I think I think it was the CDC who released some report of 7 out of 10 people, like 70% of people who tested positive for COVID had been wearing a mask religiously. So, I mean, that just shows me that wearing a mask increases your probability of getting what it is it's supposed to be preventing you from.
Well,
So,
in my realm, when you
I'm
think
gonna
about...
if the odds are against me, I'm just not gonna, I don't know.
Well, the whole idea here is, and this is where we're going with this talk, I guess, is that whenever you act out of fear, you're actually drawing what you fear into your reality.
Yeah.
And so the idea here of trying to protect yourself from the hostile threat from out there, actually produces the hostile threat from out there in your realm. And that's what all the mystics talked about. That's what all the great, even Christ Jesus talked about.
Okay.
You think Jesus would wear a mask if he were here today?
No, he'd probably flip over a table.
Yeah. I bet you if Jesus were here today, nobody would know it because they
would be too busy on their phone, too distracted by media.
Yeah. Well, the Christ is here today, and always.
He's living within each and every one of us.
And so if you walk with the Master and Christ walks with you and you're in spirit, well, then what part of you has any authority to do anything other than just be a stick figure moving through time and space? I mean, where can you exist if not in the mind of God? Where can you possibly exist is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you don't.
Exactly. And so in the mind of God, well, God would have to be senile like one of the politicians, or he'd have to be as corrupt as possible to produce anything like that, right?
Exactly.
So if God didn't produce it, then where does it find its cause?
Outside material world, people buying into
Fear.
fear. Yeah.
Fear is the cause. and the consequence comes after the cause. So the consequence is always to bring us into repentance so we love and know the Father more. And so all roads lead to the same path at the end of the day. So you can choose whichever one is more comfortable, but one of them is more desirable. And that's the instant acknowledgement that God is ever present, and God didn't create any of this insanity that's going around. God didn't authorize it. It is only by the wickedness of men, okay, not God, but the wickedness of mortals, and they're just throwing opinions on each other, and then wholly separate from that realm is the life divine. And it says it right there. Those words are so powerful. See, think about this. Material man rocks the earth in ignorance, blind, drunk. Jesus showed up and declared that they were all drunk. Why? Because they were looking out there, trying to figure out what's real out there, when imagination, in other words, in here, is the real.
Yeah.
And so that's what we have, is we have drunkenness.
Amazing that
What's that?
yeah.
It's gonna go later. You want to say something?
Hi.
What are you guys doing? You guys doing some tricks?
Yeah, we're going down there.
Oh, really? You want to do it?
Sure.
Well, wait till we get a good view from down here. Now make sure you be careful. We don't see no craziness. All right. Uh-oh.
Good job.
Nice work.
Yeah. Those guys are great.
Hey, they're good.
Hey, that just was the highlight of the video.
Right? So I had a good talk.
Matthew David Hurtado. I know.
It's hard to remember.
Matthew David Hurtado.
Matthew David Hurtado?
Yep.
Hurtado. H-U-R.
So show him the shirt.
Like
She's got the shirt on actually.
Hurtado.
Yeah.
Matthew David Hurtado.
We're pre-recording it, so it'll be on tomorrow, okay? Okay, so awesome.
Good job.
Lives are getting
We just got a new subscriber.
lives are getting saved. God works in mysterious ways, doesn't he?
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what they're saying, but they're
So-
awfully adorable.
Oh, they're
That
great.
was great.
So I had a good conversation with a guy last night. We were talking about that. I talked to him for a couple hours, and we got towards speaking about what I'm gonna lead us into right now. Is that
You're not leading me into temptation.
I want to,
Are you
but
delivering me from evil?
I'm gonna bring temptation later.
For
But
thine
that's
is the kingdom.
well, yeah.
I don't know. Talk about temptation. I'm sitting here daydreaming about what I'm going to make for dinner.
Now that's it. That's what we're gonna talk about. See, okay.
Like, I'm hearing you talk, but I'm like all of
Okay.
a sudden really hungry.
Well, when you were a
We
kid,
did walk by the restaurant.
when you were a kid, right?
yesterday.
You used to play in your imagination. Like you could take a little stick and it was a sword.
Yeah.
That play where you're in your imagination all day, that's the true way that you're supposed to walk in the world. Now, the way that we do it when we become adulterated, which means we become stupid, because adulterated means corrupt. So when you get older, you get stupid because you stop playing and you start becoming focused out there, drunk, as Jesus said. That's when you lose your power. And that's what the whole world is doing, that, trying to steal your power.
Can I just tell you something? You
Yeah.
know what? You're supposed to be doing what it was that you enjoyed doing the most in play as a child, right?
Yep.
Can I just tell you that when we were kids and we went to play, my favorite thing was to make house.
Oh.
Because we would go to the woods and we lived on a farm, and my dad would tell us to get out of the house until he rang the dinner bell. And we could go as far as we could go, but we had to be able to still hear the dinner bell. If you couldn't hear the dinner bell, you'd gone too far. which we'd done before, and we did get grounded. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. And we would go down to the creek. Was my favorite place to go. And we would play in the trees all day, and we would each pick a tree, and we would make house. And I would go and forage and go and find berries and leaves and sticks, and I would build the house. I'd literally go get long branches from trees and wood and build up my trees and make the house the way I wanted it. And I would just envision that being my home, where my bedroom would be. And that was my favorite thing. I could spend hours. And the other time, if it wasn't nice out and we would have to be inside because it was too cold or the weather was bad, I would play house with Barbies.
And then she grew up to be a perfect...
I'm a mom.
Perfect homemaker.
I'm a housekeeper. I'm not necessarily that good at it, but I do enjoy being outside.
Actually, you're very good at it. I always said that's what you're best at.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's Mama Bear right there. Mama Bear.
Mama Bear.
Yep. So what I did is I'd go out after school every day and I'd shoot pucks, hockey pucks against the house, and I was always playing in the championship game in my mind. And I would, skate around, and I'd have to move around the opponents because they were there in my imagination.
So how does that translate into what you do today?
Well,
is that your business building?
Well, what it was dealing with like a real live event and having to go into flow state, because that's what sports is that the puck would drop, it would come back, and then I'd have to like navigate and quick shoot. It was like no think. It was just you had to move, pass, shoot real quick. So that brings us into what I'm learning these last few years about flow state. Carrying it not just in sports, but into every area of your life. It's an omission of the stagnation of trying to figure everything out. And just going with the flow and knowing that good guides you as long as you follow your joy in every moment and you trust God 100%.
That was my prayer. In my prayer yesterday was instead of having a problem with the material world playing out the way it is and everything they're trying to distract you from, it's just let's go with the flow. Who cares? Just use that imagination, God's given gift, your gift of imagination, creativity, and play out whatever it is of how now, because so many people are looking at the now of what's playing out in the world affairs of like,
that's a distraction.
All this bad or good.
That's
bad
designed.
Or good.
That's
the
designed.
Divide.
That's designed to take you captive.
Yeah. So what are they keeping you from, distracting you from
the
paying
Christ,
attention to?
the living Christ, your imagination. They said you became an adult, which means you became corrupt. Yeah. And you became part of their system. It's an aeon. It's the outer aeon.
So go with the flow. Who cares what's going on?
So reactivate your magical inner child and live as that magical child forever, because you're supposed to remain that way. Remember what Jesus said, be as the little children? Mm-hmm. That's exactly how you're supposed to remain. And then the kingdom is yours. And that's how the whole system has designed itself, is to keep you from that discovery of yourself.
Yeah.
It's the most mundane of things, but it's the most powerful of things, because everything else that you do, you strive to go get your PhD and you put in all your hours and you do all this stuff.
Piled higher and deeper.
Yeah, BS is BS. And MS, more of the same. PhD, piled high and deep. They got all these acronyms and all these.
No offense to anybody watching who has one of all of those. We're not making it fun of you, but if you can't laugh at yourself.
if your passion is that, and that's what you find joy in, then that's great, because you have done what you're supposed to do. But if you're doing it because you think that it's going to get you anywhere other than where you already are, you're already complete. That's the whole point. The whole idea is most people are chasing to find completeness.
Yeah.
And they already are complete. The imagination gave it all to you. That's what the whole gospel means.
Like in the movie You Complete Me.
Yeah.
With Tom Cruise.
Exactly.
No. You have to say that in front of a mirror. I complete me.
Right? Well, it's the same with relationships, and you want to find out.
You brought that up of talking to him of a relationship.
Yeah.
And that was that.
When you want to find out what relationships are happening in your life, it's between you and you always. And so when you talk to somebody and they say, oh, my partner is this and that, what they mean is I am this and that. And I'm showing it to myself by the expression of my partner that I put into my world. See? And so we always take full responsibility and we take possession of it, and then we spiritualize it, and then we squeeze it out of thought, which means we don't give any space for that thought to exist anymore.
Oh, that food.
Yeah, I know.
Smells good. Everybody's eating outside. It's so awesome.
I had one of my refuel nights last night. So, yeah, it's called a refuel. It's a carb overdose.
Okay.
So I had.
Is that the new name of it?
Yeah, it's called OD and OCD. It's called over carb dosages.
Oh.
And so what I did.
I thought that was over cookie dosage.
I did that too. So I had the pizza last night, which was great, and then I had a whole package of blonde Oreos.
You did not have the whole package.
Well, I did because I got into two.
Rows.
I got into two
shut
packages.
The front door.
So I ate equivalent of a whole package. Yeah.
Hey.
And so I do that like every 10 days or so. Usually I like do an over carb dose, and then I fast right after. So I've been fasted all day, and it tricks the metabolism and it keeps the body guessing. It releases a truckload of IGF-1 and all that stuff in the body.
I'm kind of sad right now.
Oh, the ice cream shop's closed.
You're not in there.
We used to film here. This was great.
Sad.
Yeah, but look.
And as we digress, talking about the ice cream shop.
Yeah.
They make. So we're just on the other side of the river of the ice cream shop, like we live over there, and they make fresh waffle cones every morning, and you can smell the fragrance of them cooking the waffle cones waft across the river. And you could go outside in the summer, and it's like, ooh, I want ice cream.
They know how to get they know how to get business. That's a great business.
It smells so good, and I miss that as we just walked by, that just sweet smell.
Oh yeah.
Of fresh waffles.
Yeah, who doesn't like that?
I don't know, maybe somebody who doesn't like waffles.
So tonight, what we got queued up is we got steaks and movie night.
Well, I had my steak last night.
Oh, I didn't. So I'm ready for some steak tonight. Okay. I'm going. So the big thing is then you go low carb for several days, which means protein, vegetables, and drop the glycogen levels, work them all out, and then you turn on your fat burning extreme power.
You're so fat.
Your superpower, your fat burning superpower turns on.
Chubby wubby. Mr. Chubbs over here.
Come on now.
Mr. Fat Man. Overweight by like, what's your percentage of body fat? Your
probably
body,
like 11% now.
Oh, there's a wedding over there. Okay.
Oh, really?
We're gonna go over. We're gonna take you over by the Blue Harbor, which is.
Okay,
It'll be cold over there.
We're gonna go crash a wedding apparently now.
I was invited. I don't know why you didn't know about this.
They don't invite me.
We're gonna go golfing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm taking the kids, that is. But it's so beautiful and sunny. So I wanted to share a little bit about what I've been doing.
Because sharing is caring.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I guess that's what we're doing, because I care. I do care about you.
Unless it's a disease, then it's not caring. So.
Well, I guess, yeah, so that's awkward. But anyways.
Well, people take that into social media and they spread the mental disease around their friends because they think they're caring for them.
Oh, okay.
See how that works?
Yeah. So I've been reading Catherine Ponder's books, and she just I love her books. They're so great. And she's just talking again about the power, the simplicity of list making, you know, and I know you do that and you talk about that and encourage that, but just about how simple it is to, instead of tuning into the negative news in the morning when you wake up, or the
I don't even know. Nobody even watches that anymore. They watch the alternative.
I don't know how many of you need to comment down below. If you do watch the news, it's confessional time. Do you watch the news? Do you watch it? I don't. But anyways, if you do, instead for a week or a month or however long, why don't you replace it with list making of, you know, just a list of, almost like a bucket list, and just start.
You know who writes the script for all the news, don't you? It's the Masons and through the judges and all that stuff. They That's all owned and controlled by that system.
Well, I wasn't bringing that up to talk about the news. I was just talking about, because sometimes, and this isn't what you were talking about at all, but a common topic that will come up of people who reach out is about how to know what am I supposed to be doing. So many people, what am I supposed to be doing with my life? I don't know what direction to go. What's my next step? And it's like you can just break it down with a simple list and just simplify.
Let me help you. Let me help you. Look, here's your next step.
Hello, I'm Shen with Allow Ministries. If you are new or just getting warmed up to this material, here's a great place to begin. Use the groundbreaking tools ABC break process, safe touch, and self-entrainment technique. These are the original spiritual millionaire workshop trainings. Matthew David discovered these techniques being bedridden and bankrupt. To develop a 7-figure business and today train like a pro athlete. Within a few minutes, you'll receive the first technique, ABC Break Free, followed by the next one, Safe Touch, 5 days later. Lastly, you'll be invited to learn Matthew's most powerful skill set to shift the vibration. What he believes to be true is you can occupy parallel universes now. This technique is called self-entrainment. You'll be invited to be personally mentored by Matthew David to master this once-in-a-lifetime skill set. Look for that text to arrive in 10 days. Matthew David has streamlined the learning curve to offer you his best material for rapid life transformation at the pace that works. It's a 30-day investment in yourself to achieve the inner game of permanent abundance and vitality structured as daily techniques to build your life strategically on a solid foundation that prospers you for all your days. It's a legacy to learn, profit from, and even teach to your loved ones. To navigate an ever-changing world with timeless and changeless wisdom. Now, it's your turn to rise above your circumstances and prove that all power is within you. Now to the number below and begin your fast-track journey to your best life ever. No matter what the outer circumstances seem to be, you can master your world. Starting now.
See?
I don't know if you guys can see them out there, but those kites actually have surfers attached to them. And they're using this gusty wind. I don't know if you can even hear me. They're surfing.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I love Maui, Wisconsin. It's just so...
Hey, no, it's called Malibu, Wisconsin.
Malibu. This is the Malibu of Wisconsin that we're here at.
Just last week, so during the full moon, if we didn't do a video and I talked about it, it's almost like religious.
Yeah.
The waves are insane on the full moon. And I went out last week, and one of the days there was probably 20 surfers out there, maybe 30. It was surfers everywhere, and they're all in wetsuits, and it's freezing out. We're in winter clothes. We're wearing like winter jackets and mittens and hats, and they were out there surfing. It wasn't as warm as it is today. Today it feels like 70.
Hey,
what?
let's cut through the hotel and then walk right through the wedding.
Shut the front door. No.
Oh, why we just look like we're part of it then? We're filming.
Okay, I'll follow. You lead.
Yeah, we're just gonna cut through the whole. We did our workshop here, so we're VIP.
We're VIP. We can come and go as we please. Speaking of workshop.
Yeah, we want to do a live workshop because it would be great to connect with people, but
hey,
trying to figure out how.
If you've been wondering or would like to go to workshops, put a message down below or reach out directly, because we're thinking of maybe doing one. Maybe it could be a live one where it's where it's not 20-30 people. Maybe it's a smaller amount so that we can get away with it
right
during this weird time and not throw up any kind of red flags or whatever like that, where people need to be notified if there's more than 6 people gathering or something like that.
Right?
Or whatever.
Let's cut through.
Okay, but what if the door's locked?
Oh, well then we won't. So we'll figure.
I guess we'll find out, y'all.
So, what was I gonna say?
It was important.
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff I'd like to share at a workshop. I have new content, but I'm waiting for the right moment.
We'd love to do it in person, but then there's also the idea of, doing it virtual, where
I don't even want to do that.
I don't either, but
We do everything virtual.
Whatever. Hey, tell us what you think. Comment below. And if you haven't joined, if you don't like Facebook and you hate Facebook, but you want to be a part of the community there, we've got a lot of people who started a Facebook account just so they can, it says please use the rocks entrance. I don't know. Let's see. Well, we're going to do it.
We're just going to cut right through.
So if you,
You guys remember this place? You came to our workshop?
yeah, here we are.
Wasn't this great?
Yeah, so, we've got some people who I said,
This is like home away from home.
who joined Facebook just to be a part of the online community that we have there.
Yeah.
And that's where I do my prayers, so if you ever want to be...
That's
nice and warm in here.
Oh yeah, you can just sit here for about 5 minutes. All right, back to the cold again.
It's not that cold, but actually compared to there it is. Let's see. All right, my phone is just blowing up. Ding, ding, ding. Not like literally. Kids will take it literal. Mom, your phone, is it really blowing up? Yeah, it's blowing up. Oh boy. 434 East. Oh no.
East.
East pump.
Yeah, if you would
Get your pump
have
back.
bought your East back when I first started wearing this shirt,
178.
yeah, you'd nearly tripled your money by now. But that's nothing yet. That's like a drop in the bucket as to what's to come overall. So yeah, it's not investment advice, by the way. That's just my opinion. So
Because you're not a financial advisor.
I'm not, but I am. I am a hedge fund owner and manager, and that's something that's completely entirely separate that I don't talk about because that's for accredited investors only and qualified investors, and that's private. But I will tell you this. I will tell you that if I were just one of those guys that just had an extra 1,000 laying around and I wondered what to do with it, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do with it. I don't know. What would you do with it, Sabrina? I don't even know.
I'd probably pick out some good food options and make a good dinner. Just kidding. I'm just hungry.
I'd probably rather go for that right now.
Why am I talking about food? I'm so hungry.
Yeah.
Because we're walking by the ice cream parlor again and they're closed. Although that's not really what I would want right now because that might make my stomach hurt. But
Yeah.
ooh, let's stay in the front of the shops because the sun is right here.
What else is going on in the world that people care about? I mean, besides the Biden victory that's been declared on the news.
I don't know.
You know, I mean, how do you guys
Comment
feel?
below. What do you guys care about?
How do you guys feel about President Biden?
Oh,
I
boy.
mean, it's an epic, historic moment. You got a guy that can't put together 3 sentences, and is propped up like a one of those wooden. What's that guy's ventriloquist name? Remember the ventriloquist that does all the puppets?
I don't know which one.
I don't know. The guy that he's funny. He's a comedian, and he has like all the puppets that talks and.
That guy? Yeah,
Whatever.
I know who you're talking about, but I'm not good with names.
Biden would make
I
a
mean,
good
whatever.
ventriloquist doll.
Yeah,
But anyway, whatever. You know, more power to him, I suppose.
I guess that's allegedly what you get when you become president is more power.
Yeah,
More power
if you
to
believe the president is the actual.
Or has any pull. I mean, I
Okay.
think isn't he? I feel like Trump was even proof, or even he is that if these guys, it's just proof that they're just the front man. They're just the patsy.
It's theater.
It's all WWE.
It's theater, and people hate to hear that because they get so wrapped up in it, like their favorite sports teams, and they believe that one side is actually any different than the other.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is that every 4 to 8 years, the pendulum swings the other way, and it gives people the illusion of control over their destiny. But control over your destiny is an inner kingdom thing. It's not an outer kingdom thing.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
And see, as long as the outer kingdom keeps wagging you like the tail wagging the dog, then you're all backwards. You know what I mean?
True.
So you don't give your power to that because you're not in charge of that. It's not your domain. You go back to being like a kid and you start playing in your imagination. And I mean, Christ, we went through.
Literally.
I know, like we went through. What is it? I was born in '77, so the world. How many?
18.
Yeah, 1877. So I had been through so many of these experiences. No. What I'm saying is that for the first, 12 years of my life, I lived in my imagination wholeheartedly, and there was always this interesting phenomenon. God revealed to me the ABC break process. Back then, I knew I was doing this technique back when I was a kid, and it didn't even become a thing until I had to remember it when I was an adult, because I became a dumbed down adult.
It's something that I learned when I was a kid.
Oh, let me conclude with that.
Oh, okay.
I always achieved everything that I put into my ABC break process. So I knew there was always a 1 to 2 year delay usually on the manifestations, but I would just get excited about it and I'd do the ABC break process before bed, and then I'd always end up living it every time. So anyway, go ahead.
For me, mine was always knowing that anything I came into agreement with, and I didn't, at the time, I don't know if I would have used the word God, because I don't think I really thought that way. I just knew that if I made a decision about something that I was, just like you're talking about, that I was excited about, as long as I told no one, and if I wrote it down, then it would happen. But the key was not telling somebody. You have to keep it as, and it's not a secret, it's just kind of like an agreement, and then it also came down to the writing it down.
Oh yeah.
Because I used to do that. I used to write all these things as a kid, and I'd never tell anything, and then they would tell anybody, and then they'd happen. And then I found that if I started telling people, then the things that I was wanting or that I was intending on, they never happened if I told anybody. And they didn't happen if I didn't write it down.
There's something powerful about that.
And I remember even saying something because I'd know things, and I'd say something to an adult, and they'd get mad at me. So then I also learned that was another reason you didn't say anything to other people, because they don't necessarily understand your language.
Right?
They don't understand what you're trying to put into words. So they don't, it could be like a foreign language,
So here's the story about that. That could be a thing right there, what you just said. We have someone we know that was incarcerated for a while there. Remember who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So one thing that she showed me is that she opened up this notebook and she had written down all of these little private scriptures that she remembered that she was believing God for. And that's what she said she did, is wrote them down, and she would think on those things. And she's not in jail right now. She's out and she's free and doing good. So maybe God had a hand in that. I don't know. But I do think
Doesn't God have a hand in everything? And if you don't
well,
take the lesson, it's going to keep playing out. And if you don't realize it's a lesson.
I can't tell people what to do. I have to let them figure it out.
Oh.
What I'm saying is, I think what you said has some merit to it, like writing it down, not telling anyone. What else?
Being excited about it. Like believing it.
Being excited about it, believing it. So
I used to write stories when
I
was a kid.
What about playing in it though? Acting as if it's already true.
Oh yeah. So I remember writing stories when I was younger. And it was probably one of the things I did when it would be like cold or bitter out, like if outside wasn't okay. So indoor play, one of them was writing, but I would burn it. I would burn what I would write, and I'd go through and I'd edit it, but I'd go and burn it because I knew that if my older sister found it, she would make fun of me.
Oh, well that makes sense.
Yeah, so it was like I don't know. Interesting, huh?
Yeah, that is interesting.
And maybe it's not interesting at all.
Well,
it's the joy of living with siblings, the things you do to protect yourself. And I know that formed a lot of my personality, of maybe keeping back some of really who I am, because I grew up with a sibling who would like traumatize me for being me. So instead of being me, I would be whoever everybody needed me to be, so that the real me wouldn't get hurt anymore, because it hurt. When I would be the real me, and then my older sister would make fun of me.
I'm still trying to find the real you.
Me too.
Yeah. We're going to shake that out tonight. Just shake you.
It's onion. I'm just peeling layers of the onion.
Beasts come out.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
well, I think that's good.
No, we got to keep talking because it's nice out.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm not even really saying much. I'm just absorbing the sun, and I'm just letting the quiet infiltrate my mind.
Hi.
Hello.
Good idea. Oh.
So I think the big takeaway that took about 50 some minutes to explain that we're going over here is that you could write stuff down, you could get into the excitement of it and just play in it as if you're still that magical child that never had to become adulterated and never had to lose your power to this world, because that's what you were.
Because the only world that you really live in is the world in between your ears. Like the world in your head, how you interpret everything.
Mm-hmm.
If everything is good, there can be no bad.
Yep.
But if everything's bad, there can be no good.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised when
Hey,
everything you're expecting shows up.
that wasn't 50 minutes. It was only 37 minutes back at that time, I think. It's not bad. I thought we'd been going for an hour. I'm like, that's cool. We'll keep it under 45 minutes here.
Not 7-minute abs.
Yeah. Nobody,
Wait,
not
not
6
8-minute abs.
Not 6-minute abs. Nobody can
7
do 6-minute abs.
7-minute abs
Yeah.
or whatever. Ah.
I had this other movie that I was laughing about when you said Malibu. I was thinking, remember that movie with B-Rad and he was like Malibute?
Oh gosh,
What was that
really
called?
remember
Was that he was like a rapper and
Yeah, I kind of don't.
his name
I
was-
think it was so stupid.
his name was
that
B-Rad.
I think it was such a stupid movie that I totally like. Although I just quoted a really stupid movie, but it was pretty iconic. I think that was the movie that Cameron Diaz
Yeah.
and what was that? Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller kind of made it big after that one. Him and Cameron.
Yeah.
I just realized my hair is getting really long.
Oh yeah.
I had that.
Mine too.
Yeah.
I just realized mine's getting long too.
No, you just got a haircut, you goof.
My chest hair I was talking about.
Oh, whatever. Shut the front door.
All right,
That
well,
was Leora's aerial silks dance instructor.
oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they moved. They're just on the other side of the river, up by Walgreens.
Oh yeah.
But
The aerial
she wants
is really
to go
cool.
in that again, but I didn't know what we were doing, so I didn't.
All right,
Anyways.
well, we'll go ahead and let you guys go. You want to hit the button?
All right, bye.
Hello, I'm Julie with Allow Ministries on behalf of Matthew David Hurtado. Are you ready to end self-sabotage, procrastination, and distraction? Clarity, certainty, and a proven plan of action is what it takes to get anything you want in life. Training is the answer. Matthew David Hurtado's Spiritual Millionaire Workshop is the one-step solution that finally puts you in control of your destiny. What Matthew discovered about building a 7-figure business and perfect well-being when he was bedridden and bankrupt with Lyme disease is that mentorship is success without the wait. It works. At allowuniversity.com, you'll discover how to walk in victory. Learn how to prosper in every area with unstoppable daily habits and a step-by-step training to build your dream business immediately following the event, a success training for a lifetime of achievement. Walk in financial increase, living a life you love. Go to allowuniversity.com and say yes to your destiny.